Sweet, sassy molasses, it's time for another BumbleKast. I'm your host, Ian Flynn, the Bumble King, and joining me as always is my Bumble co-host, Kyle, JCRB Krause.
Oh, boy, howdy. We're here. We're ready. I think we're ready. I don't know. Ian, are you ready?
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
I'm ready. Are you ready?
Yes. I think so. That's
all right, then.
That's what I'm ready for. What am I ready for?
We're ready for the BumbleKast.
Oh, yeah.
You ask us questions, and we answer them. If you want your question answered on the show, email us at BumbleKast@yahoo.com or tweet to us at BumbleKast. If you're a patron, go over to the Discord and ask in the Q&A channel. If you want your question answered sooner rather than later, send us $5 via Patreon. That's patreon.com/BumbleKast or coffee, ko-fi.com/BumbleKast. With the latter, be sure to include your name and your question, because otherwise it's just a straight donation, which we love, but it doesn't get you anything, and that would be sad. There are a whole bunch of other perks, as well as the Q&A master list. Please check that before asking your questions. Check all that out at bumbleking.com/BumbleKast.
Indeed. We got a big, beefy show. So let's go ahead and jump right into it with our first priority question from DaniTheLight. I was wondering if Mephiles will still show up as stated after the Scourge lockdown positive response, even if Sega has more control of the series, and if he still exists or not. Because I, along with many other Mephiles fans, are still waiting for his dark and awesome return, due to his potential being rushed, just as they did with Infinite.
Mephiles is dead. That's the official word I got. The cameo in Scourge Lockdown was a joke. That's all there is to it. And if you want to argue, well, he survived in the multiverse, that's fine, but that was the Archieverse, and that's not canon. Especially not to IDW Sonic. So, my understanding is Mephiles is dead, and that one I'm going to have to get behind, because they really killed him off. They went back before he even was Mephiles, back when Solaris was just the small pilot light that it was, and snuffed it out. And if you want to argue that the Time Eater is like the remnants of Mephiles, which is my personal fanon, that also got blown up by double supersonics. So Mephiles is like hella dead, man. I would love to find ways to bring a lot back. I want to see Tikal back. I want to see Chaos back. I want to see Infinite back. But Mephiles is dead. I think that one's concrete.
No, Mephiles is not concrete. He's dead. Sorry, Mephiles fans. Here's one from Digamma. Was the 5th Sonic comic origin story, the one about Nicole's backstory, made alongside the first 4? It basically finished the framing device story that also encompassed the first 4, and it had the same art team, but not published until a bit later to tie in with Spark of Life. Or was it actually made later?
I have no idea. It's been too long. I don't remember the production on that at all, to be perfectly honest.
Here's a question from Diane W. So in a previous Q&A, you said that if a Zombot gets set on fire, it basically melts and dies. But what would happen to a Zombot if it gets electrocuted?
I would specify that if a Zombot was melted directly, like I don't think you could set one on fire, but if it were exposed to a sufficient heat to be melted, that would be an issue. Case in point, supersonic beams it into the sun. It melted, go bye-bye. Electrocuted, I don't know. It's kind of a living machine, so maybe it would short out. Maybe it would reboot. Maybe it would become stronger. I don't know. We never actually had that scenario.
And here's some questions from Andrew D. If Jeffrey studied Ixian magic when he was younger, why did he choose not to use any when he was trying to kill Sonic during Endgame?
Because he wanted the personal touch. No at a distance magic. He wanted Sonic to die by his own arrow or hands. Sure, we'll go with that.
Maybe Jeffrey just forgot.
Maybe it was me trying to consolidate a poorly edited book and decades of weirdo stories to make something a little more interesting with an otherwise creepy James Bond knockoff. Not everything's going to fit.
Maybe a wizard did it.
That's the whole thing. That is the story. The wizard did do it. Or in this case, he didn't do it. Did he count as a wizard? He's not really wizardy. He just kind of knows a few tricks. Anyway.
Whatever. I mean, Ixis is the wizard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, here's another one. Now that we know Metal Knuckles had a concept design all along, would you happen to know if the potential original Tails doll concept design had a spherical gem on its head, like in the comic, and not a polygonal one like we've seen in the past? Also, since the gem is supposed to be the robot and the rest of it is supposed to be a stuffed doll, how was it able to see through its doll eyes in that panel where it was observing? Was there a camera in its head that was sending video feed somewhere? Does the gem allow the stuffed doll parts to move?
I'm assuming the concept art is what was used for the final design. I didn't see any Tails doll art. I did see the Metal Knuckles art, and man, did that get me hyped, because for so long, Kyle, for so long, we were running off of like those 20 polygons, and now fully realized, oh, so good. Tails doll, I don't know. I didn't get to see that one if we were given it. So I don't know, to be honest. I'm not sure where you're getting the antenna is the only robot part. That's news to me. So I'm just going to have to leave that one there.
All right, and that's it for questions from Andrew. Let's move on to this question from Speedweed. So, Ian, I know you're very touchy on the subject of fan stuff, which has led me to a bit of a conundrum. If you're not allowed to look at any fan content, does that also mean you're not allowed to, say, play a good old session of AM2R or watch a video of a fan animation or anything? Or are you able to at least give yourself some sort of entertainment to consume in the realm of fan content, Sonic-related or otherwise? Especially otherwise, however, given it's hard to think someone's actually unable to consume some good ROM hacks or other sorts of fan games / fan content, even outside of the Sonic sphere.
In terms of fan content, if I'm not working on the project, I have nothing to worry about. You know, I can't deny myself fan content on a property that I might someday potentially work on. That's just silly and insane. I am very protective of the Sonic side of things simply because I am a very public figure in the Sonic fandom, and the Sonic fandom is a very attentive fan base. So I have to watch myself, because if I don't, I know everyone else will. In terms of that kind of content, it kind of comes under the same criteria of fan ideas or snuck into the questions. Case in point, a little while ago, there was an art challenge on Twitter. A pair of, I think they were Nike shoes came out. I don't know. I wasn't paying that close attention. Point was, somebody said, let's see Tangle wearing these shoes. And there were a bajillion pictures of Tangle wearing these shoes. That's fine, because I'm never going to use a Nike shoe brand in the comic. That's not something I'm going to suggest. Clearly, that's off limits. And it's just Tangle being cool in a different pair of kicks. That's fine. That's not something that I could potentially take from someone. That's not someone's original concept. If it's just cool fan art of the characters doing cool things, that's just nice. That's fine. That's perfectly within the realms of acceptability. It's when you get into stuff like, here is my original character doing adventurous things with the IDW crew, then it's okay, now you're injecting your original stuff into the mix, and I need to avoid it. With games, I just generally don't go there because, one, I've very rarely had a machine that could run them. I always go for... all I need is a word processing laptop. I don't really go for high-end stuff. And if I have time to play any game, it's usually one that I've bought with my own money. Case in point, I actually picked up Scarlet Nexus, which is kind of interesting, but that's a whole other topic. Games, there are so many Sonic games out there, and there is so much content per game. mixing fan games in there would just potentially muddle things. I don't want to accidentally crib somebody's original zone because it was so authentic, you know? There are a lot of creative fans out there and a lot of people who have analyzed Sonic for a long time, and they know how to make a solid Sonic game, which is why I don't want to accidentally fold it into the mix with everything else. I will always be impressed from a distance of what people have done in the fan community with the games, whether it be your classic 2D stuff, your 3D stuff, or just original content. It's really, really impressive, and I'm kind of jealous that people are able to create their visions like that. I wish I could do that myself. But I try to not dabble in it just because there is a chance I might take an idea for like an item upgrade or a level theme or something. There's bound to be some crossover because we're all Sonic fans. We're all thinking about what would be cool in a Sonic scenario. But as long as I make it clear that I'm not looking at other people's stuff, there is that plausible deniability and there's that understood respect between me and the fan community. So that if they do see something similar, they can assume, okay, great minds think alike here, not, oh, Ian cribbed my idea. And I would much prefer someone to see a similar idea and feel excited that, ooh, we shared the same neat idea, and not think of something more negatively.
And this is, to clarify, this is pretty much a self-imposed limit on you, right? It's not...
oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're not being told by Sega or IDW to not look at any of this stuff.
No. I'm not under contract or direction or anything. It's something I want to make sure of for my personal accountability. And again, out of respect, out of the extremely creative and driven fandom.
Yeah. And I think that it's... Personally, I think maybe you're a little too restrictive on yourself, but that's just my own personal opinion on it. I'm not you, so I can't tell you what to be comfortable with or not. So,
well, I mean,
I get being overly cautious, though.
I mean, if I were to give myself a gray area, that permits folks to wonder, oh, did he actually see that? Did he actually copy that accidentally or otherwise? If I just make it a hard no, then you know that it's no.
Yeah.
And in the hopefully far future, when I do finally step away from the franchise, which is going to be very, very weird, I will have a whole bunch of stuff that I get to go back and enjoy.
True. Yeah. That's a good point. All right, here's a question from Happy Times. If the Mega Man Battle Network license was available to use while you were writing the Mega Man comic book, how would you have done a crossover between the classic series and the Battle Network series?
I don't know. Fun fact, there was one Easter eggy throwaway line joke that I wanted to include at some point where Dr. Light would say that he had considered getting into the software side of things rather than the hardware side of things.
I thought you did that.
Did I do that somewhere?
I think you did, yeah, in the book. Yeah, I think it's in an issue somewhere. It's a very quick throwaway line, yeah.
Well, that was all it was meant to be, just kind of a wink and a nod to it.
Yeah.
Granted, it was 50 issues, and it's been how long since I touched it?
It's been like 5 years, something like that.
And much like some of the Robot Masters, I have memory issues. Ba-da-bum-bum. But, okay, so fun fact aside, it's not really fun anymore because it's already there.
No, it's still very fun.
I don't know. I guess you'd play with the physical and the digital side of things. It would definitely be a more stark contrast in Classic because it was so hardware focused. And that world doesn't really have the infrastructure, so maybe you'd have to have the Classic cast go into the Battle Network world just for that to make sense. Not sure. If it was like Mega Man X, that's different because they already kind of toy with the digital universe, and that's not quite as exciting, to me at least. It would definitely make bridging things a little easier, but then it's just like, oh, it's just the digital side. That's nothing new or special, really. So, I don't know, maybe play a little bit on, again, the physical versus the ethereal. Maybe give a nod to the latest cartoon and have EXD install himself directly into Classic's head. You know?
That would be pretty funny. Next question is from Scurvy Pirate Hog. So what would happen if Sonic took care of a Chow as the Werehog? Would it be hero because of his good nature, or dark because of the dark Gaia energy? Or would the dark Gaia energy and the good nature cancel each other out and they just stay neutral?
That is like something the monks would ask you once you reach the top of the mountain. What is the sound of one hand clapping? What is the true nature of nothingness? If Werehog Sonic pet a Chow, what would happen?
It would be crushed and dead.
No!
Because of his giant hand, and he's too
Absolutely
strong.
not.
He's too strong.
No!
He's too strong to hold Chow. He's too strong for Chow.
I think it's the nature of the character more than anything. So I would believe it would be Sonic's good nature that would come through, and it would generate a hero Chow. But if that thing were to run up and like snuggle the Werehog, then it would turn dark and get like hilarious big fluffy eyebrows and like big fluffy Chow arms. And dang it, I want to see Werehog Chow now. Oh my god, that thing would be adorable.
Were Chow.
Where Chow. Man, it would just kind of like run around on all fours and like introduce a day-night cycle to the gardens, and it would just sit there and kind of go, oh, woo, at the moon. It would be so freaking cute. Oh, Sega, why are you leaving all the money on the table? Give me my Chow garden with my Were Chow. Come on. Come on.
Fan artists, you know what to do. Here's a question from PC the Unicorn. Ian, how would you do Worlds Collide, but if instead of Mega Man crossing over with modern Sonic, Mega Man crossed over with classic Sonic and Boom, respectively? Would Dr. Wily get along better with those versions of Eggman, since they're less insane and probably wouldn't have thrown Dr. Light to his death? How would Rock's dynamic with classic and Boom Sonic differ from his dynamic with modern Sonic? And would we still get roboticized versions of the characters, but with some new ones added to the roster based on other classic/Boom characters, such as roboticized Honey and Sticks? And to be clear, I don't mean a three-way crossover between Mega Man, Boom, and Classic, even though that would be hilarious in its own right. I do mean separate crossovers.
This is coming from the position of understanding Classic and Boom as we do now. If this had been done back in the day, it would have been very, very different, because Classic Sonic was a different beast at that point. In terms of Classic, in general, I think both would be more lighthearted in their approach. Classic Eggman would be definitely less of a threat and more of a buffoon. And that might get on Wily's nerves, but I still see the bromance ultimately falling apart because of ego. Classic Eggman wouldn't want to lose out on the chance to smush Sonic to anybody else. And there might be more of a conflicting ideals on how to build a murder bot. You know, instead of Eggman being too evil for Wily, it would be like two children having a slap fight over the toy. You know, I want to do it. I want to push the button. Maybe that sort of thing. As for Rock and Classic Sonic, I can't see it playing out too differently, to be honest. Classic Sonic, as he is now, is maybe a little more laid back, but he's still got the attitude and the gumption. So overall, I don't see it playing out entirely differently. Yeah, I guess we would keep the roboticized masters, because that was the joke. You know, that's the crossover between things. You bust the robots to free the animals, but this time the robots are the animals, and the animals are your friends. So different designs, I guess. We'd have to change up the roster because there wouldn't be a classic Shadow or a classic Rouge. But as for Boom, that would just be a straight up comedy book.
Oh yeah.
Rock and pretty much all of the Mega Man cast would be the straight man to the Boom cast. I don't know if we'd go full roboticized masters there. Number one, because you don't have the cast for it, and fastidious Beaver Man just that ain't gonna fly. That's just not gonna work. I mean, yeah, it's funny, but Comedy Chimp Man it doesn't quite have the same gravitas.
I now I want Dave from Midburger Man. Dave the Intern Man.
Just, oh man, that was my promotion. You were a robot slave. How's that any different than working in Midburger?
Exactly. See, it writes itself.
All right. Maybe I'm wrong there.
Roboticized Sticks. She says, I always knew this would happen to me.
Sticks would be freaked out because, Mega Man, is he a boy or is he a robot? Is he a living being or is he a robot? Does he look like a living being so that he can walk amongst us and we would never know he was a robot? Then why wear the robot shell? Obviously, it's a double blind. I think that he's a robot, but not really a boy, but he's really a boy who's not really a robot. Wait, I've already confused myself.
Kind of missed it so much.
Yeah. As for Wily and Boom Eggman, this would be a full reversal.
Oh, yes.
Wily would lose all patience with Boom Eggman. He would start off well enough. They both have the energy and the proactive evil scientist going on, but Wily has ambitions. He has set goals. Mm-hmm. Boom Eggman does not. About the third time he brings a fresh tray of cookies, Wily's going to lose it, so.
Yeah. I love it. I'm sad these did not happen. Oh well. Next question is from Johnny B. Good. What are your top 3 to 5 mysterious ancient civilizations with amazing technology that may or may not have destroyed themselves in Sonic media? The franchise really gathered a lot of them over the years.
Yeah, they did. As dumb as they are, I kind of want to see more on the Babylonians. I mean, they're all over the damn place, but I don't know. There's so little on them that intrigues me, I do want to tie a bow on the Knuckles clan at some point.
Yeah.
Please. I mean, yeah, we know that Chaos wiped out most of them, but that was, what's the end game thing? 400 years or something? 4,000 years? I can't remember now. There's many generations between Pachamama and Knuckles. What happened?
Yeah.
We can write off the Nocturnus. They're never coming back again. Which frees up whoever it was who created Emerald. Where did Emerald come from? It's now an open-ended question.
The Legacy clan.
And I would say Black Arms because, I don't know, I kind of like the potential Zerg-esque nature to be explored, but they're super dead, and they really don't need to come back. That's the ones that spring to mind for me.
I can only think of the Echidnas. I can only think of the Knuckles clan. That's all I can think of. Maybe it's just my classic brain showing. But I can't think of any modern ones that you didn't already mention, at least. I can't. So what are some of the modern ones other than you got the Black Arms and what else? Ian, help me.
I can't think of anybody else off the top of my head.
Yeah, I can't either. There's a lot of mysterious ancient civilizations in Sonic, but some of them are so underdeveloped, I can't even remember them all. Oh well. Maybe someone give the Echidnas a freaking Give the echidnas a freaking backstory finally. But, make it better than the one we got in the comics.
Say they all moved to Little Planet, and that's why you never see them.
There we go. Where's Little Planet? We need that back. All right, Hero of Light 13 has a question. Okay, this might be the most outlandish question I've asked you, and potentially the shortest answer, depending on your knowledge of the series, but hear me out. Sonic and Kingdom Hearts crossover? Like Sonic's world, as another world, Sora and the gang have to visit on a larger adventure? Sonic and Sora teaming up to stop Eggman and the Heartless, that sort of thing. Legal unlikeliness aside, how would you handle a story like that? How would you want to see Sonic's world represented? What zones do you want to see depicted? Which characters should be involved to get the most of the series without making it too crowded? How would Eggman try to take advantage of the Heartless in whatever scheme he'd have? And how would you want Sora depicted? Either as his human self or some sort of marketable Mobian/Hedgehog form. Donald and Goofy probably don't need to change much. Lol. Sora would just be Chris Thorndike.
Unfortunately, that's what it would be. My understanding of Kingdom Hearts is entirely based off of the YouTube video series, A Pretty Good Summary of Kingdom Hearts, which I watch just because every so often, it's just funny. And I forget how many millions of views it's at now, and I quote it at random and never at the appropriate times. But that's my understanding of Kingdom Hearts. And kind of watched a little bit of a playthrough of 3 until it got boring, which was the Toy Story world, which I think is the start.
I do love that. I do love Barry's video though. The summary.
Himnig Brig.
It's fantastic. And also I like how it's like completely like, okay, all the Disney crap, it's just set dressing. It doesn't matter. Throw it out. Yeah. all these Disney crossovers, screw them. So a Sonic crossover, it would mean nothing.
So we don't really have to worry about how it would affect Kingdom Hearts as a narrative. It would just be the story of that visitation on that world.
Sure.
Which is, in a lot of cases, it seems like it follows a preset story, just with an abbreviated version. Like, when they went to the Tangled world, it was basically the Tangled movie, just with a lot of glaring omissions and fights in between. So, I don't know. Maybe something that would be in theme with Kingdom Hearts in terms of friendship and maintaining positivity and big set pieces and a story that's already been told but done in the Kingdom Hearts way. Maybe they just pass through SA2 again. Like, Shadow is awakened and he is, all angsty and dark, and that's the resolution of the story, is that, Sora gets him to care about the people below. And then your big final fight is Super Sora flying through the air with an Excalibur-styled Keyblade beating the crap out of Final Hazard. I mean, I'd play it.
It would be pretty good, actually. Why not?
You have a fetch quest with Knuckles in Aquatic Mine to find the shards. Sora steals Amy's role in the story just like Chris does, so that fits. Mobian-style Donald and Goofy. Donald I can almost see. Goofy would be weird. He'd just look like a jailbroken version of the Force's avatar modifier, I guess.
Something weird.
It'd be great to hear him sing City Escape, though, with that yodel in there.
Oh, yeah. Rolling around at the speed of sound. Places to go, gotta follow my rainbow. Anyway, I'm done, sorry.
So I guess that's my answer. That would be That is not my creative answer. That is my cold, calculated, clinical answer on what would be most likely in my mind.
Alrighty then. Here's a question from Saturn Flicky. The Sega Sonic arcade game flyer describes Ray and Mighty as Sonic's friends, but has no further details. Do you have any thoughts on how long they've all known each other? Who met who first? Why they have matching shoes? Or the general relationship dynamics between them?
I mean, officially, no. I have no idea, and I'd be surprised if there was some long-lost Sega document. Then again, given that there was a Metal Sonic design, I guess not. Maybe there is some deep, dark, long-lost dev document, because there were some designs for Mighty and Ray dating back to, like, the Sonic Band stuff.
Right,
so,
yeah.
And it wasn't until recently that I put two and two together and realized that the long-standing translation from the Japanese Chaotix manual that Vector reached the island on a mission from God is a Blues Brothers joke.
Yes. That's, yeah.
Like, for the longest time, the fandom has been chewing on this little bit of lore gristle going, what does that mean for Vector? And it was a Blues Brothers joke.
Yes.
And then they dropped that part of his design.
Yes.
And it's like, that's so underwhelming, it hurts.
Yes. Yes. It was a Blues Brothers joke made by the localizers for Knuckles Chaotix. They just threw it in there. It means nothing.
Oh, Sonic. Anyway, as for Sonic, Ray, Mighty, the way I've tried to approach it personally is that Mighty and Sonic are kind of parallels, that they are both adventurers out seeking, excitement. But whereas Sonic is kind of an adrenaline junkie, Mighty is out for self-betterment. That he's looking to improve himself along the way, and that Ray is kind of inspired by Mighty and tags along to encourage him and be inspired by him. Basically, Mighty and Ray are Sonic and Tails. Whether or not that will hold water in the future, if that's what Sega wants to do, I don't know. Well, that's how I kind of treated it in the Classic special, and didn't get any notes on that, so we'll see if that continues. Classic is such a big question mark right now. We'll just see how it pans out.
Yeah, I hope it gets more fleshed out and built on, because it really needs to. I know it's kind of a special thing-ish for anniversaries and stuff, but still, I need more. I need more. Here's a question from Off. For Ian and any other writers or artists, how do you cope with art or writer's block? What motivates you to finish a project when you really want to do it, but also don't? Does anyone have any secrets they can share on how to motivate when they're feeling burnt out?
If it's a project with a deadline, focus on the deadline. Like for me, there's the creative approach, and then there's the technical approach. And I always try to create creatively first and foremost. But if time is running out or I really need to get it done, look at it from a technical standpoint. Don't be an artist, be a contractor and see what needs to be laid down. You can always revise later, hopefully. It depends on how tight that deadline is. But stop trying to make it perfect and get it done. If it is for yourself, don't push it. If you have the time, step away. Don't think about it. And, engage in something else. Work on a separate project. Do the chores you've been putting off. Go for a walk. Decouple those neurons from that idea. And you will come back to it refreshed. The epiphany will come. It won't be quick all the time, and it will more than likely happen while you're either on the shower, on the toilet, or just about to fall asleep. But when it hits, write it down. Do not think, I'll put it down later. Like, if you're going to sleep, get up, write it down. If you're in the bathroom on those other 2 occasions, you can't really do it. But just, make sure you remember it. Repeat it to yourself and write it down the minute you can. Because it's going to fly away. I guarantee it. But don't force the idea. If you do, it's not going to be good. Or, alternatively, if you're missing that one central part, you know where point A is, you know where point C is, but you can't figure out B, just put something down. Put something stupid down. Something that you don't like. And the character gets to this point and he falls off a cliff and is rescued by eagles. And then it goes on from there. So that you can come back and revise it. In your mind, you've reached that point. You're not stuck on that one part. It's completed and you're able to think of it from a different angle. At least that's my experience. So either don't push it and come back to it later, or put in something for now so that you have something to revise later.
Nice. I've had a case of writer's block for the last 15 years, so I'm a very poor, I have no advice for you. Good luck. Here's a question from Scruffy Mets. Good news, boys. It's BumbleKast karaoke night. Yay! Wait. Imagine me doing a Kermit the Frog flail. Got it? Cool. Let's try that again. It's BumbleKast karaoke night. Yay! What are each of your top 3 karaoke songs? I'll go program the machine for you.
Oh, God. Is this just somewhere public, or is this just among friends, or am I alone in the recording booth? Because that changes the songs and the degree I'm going to go all out on them. Public exposure is... I am terrified to perform in front of people, and I hunger for it, Kyle. Mm-hmm. I am a walking contradiction. Like, I loved being on stage in high school doing, the school plays. But taking the plunge and, going up on stage the first time is utterly terrifying.
Yeah.
Going to a convention when I'm behind a table, that's perfectly fine.
Yep.
That's my stage. I can engage, no problem. I step out from behind that table and I have lost my anchor. I am vulnerable. I'm no longer Ian the con-goer. I am just some schlub, and oh no, you're talking to me, and what do I do? Singing in front of people. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I don't know either. I hate karaoke.
Let's just say crush 40 vocal tracks and go with that.
I mean, that's the easiest one, I suppose. But, I mean, I like Rock Band, and I like singing in Rock Band. That's fun, but I don't... Karaoke's not my thing. And I hate listening to other people do karaoke.
Or the Megas.
Oh, the Megas would be good. Megas are fun.
Megas would be very good karaoke music.
Yeah, that would be fine. Geez, I don't know. Daytona, I could do that one. I could do all the songs from Daytona. That'd be fun.
It's kind of hard to pick because it's like, what would I enjoy singing? It's like, what songs do I belt out in the car whenever they come on?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I remember some artists, but I don't remember any of the track names or what albums they're from.
I mean, I can't. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Let's do Rock Band night instead of karaoke night. I'd prefer that.
Okay.
I'd prefer that. I can, because at least with Rock Band, well, you can turn the vocals off, but you don't have to. So you can sing along with the original singer, so it's not as bad. Next question is from Jib. You guys got a favorite Sonic instrumental and vocal for the music? Just curious. This ties in with the last one, sorta.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I mean,
It's hard to narrow down, but
like maybe I guess my top two are "With Me" from Sonic and the Black Knight.
oh, that's a good one.
And that's a karaoke one. And "Never Look Back" out of Shadow the Hedgehog. That's just a good song by itself.
Yeah, that song is kind of strange to me because it feels like it's a more traditional rock song rather than a specifically Sonic song.
Mhm.
It seems like I don't know what it is. There's something different about it.
I think that's why I like it so much, is that it's just a good rock song on its own, and it applies to the source material, but it really does stand on its own. All the other Crush 40 tracks, they kind of have to be Sonic songs. But that one...
You can make arguments for some of them, but yeah. That one's just a straight up, just a good standalone song. I still love Open Your Heart, though.
Mhm.
I will never not love Open Your Heart. Because I don't know what it is. I've always preferred, like, of all of the Sonic theme songs, Open Your Heart is my jam. My jam. More so than Live and Learn and all the rest of them. Still so good. So good. And our final priority question this week comes to us courtesy of Noni. If you're fighting Tails and you grab both of his tails at the same time as he flies by, will the rest of his body start to frantically spin, or would his tails have enough strength to completely flip you?
Oh, you'd get your arms ripped off. I mean, this kid can lift Sonic and Knuckles and ascend... I mean, I'm sure you could do the math, but like tens of feet in the air before losing any kind of stamina? Yeah, no, you grab onto those if you are able to grab on. I mean, your fingers will probably be gone first. I mean, he's able to bust open badniks with those things, and those are at some degree of reinforced metal. Yeah, nah. You try to grab a Kitsune by the tails, you're gone. You're paraplegic. That's it. You're drawing back nubs.
Yeah. It's like it's like a spinning platter in a hard drive. It's got a hurricane force winds in there, man. Woo! Going super fast. It will screw you up bad.
I mean, you throw a stick up there like you're thinking it's going to get stuck in the spokes of a bike wheel, and no, it's going to be tossed right back at you. You're going to lose an eye.
It's going to shatter into splinters and go right into your eyes.
Yeah. That's not Tails' favoritism. That's just physics.
That's Tails the wood chipper.
That's science, yo.
Yes. Speaking of science, it's good for you to take a break once in a while. So let's go ahead and take a break right now on the BumbleKast. And we have returned for more Q&A. Jumping into this one from Koopaling Crew. Regardless of species, type, gender, or good-evil alignment, might we be able to soon see another new character appear? This time from Silver's future, akin to the notoriety of Tangle, Whisper, or Starline? Or is that too touchy-feely for Sega at the moment, until they tackle that on their own first?
I don't know about Sega, but that's not in the cards for IDW for the near future.
Well, I'd hope not, because Silver's future is like 200 years away. That's the far future, boy. It's a far future. You hate me that much now, huh? It's about time.
That's 2 for the show. Can he go for 3?
Maybe. Let's find out with this question from Breezy. Does Metal Overlord still have all, or at least most of, the capabilities of Neo Metal Sonic? Some argue that he's a straight-up downgrade, trading his speed, precision, and versatility for raw power, but I never saw it that way. Do you know at all if he can still shapeshift or use the biodata of the Sonic heroes, for instance?
Oh, number one, yeah, we know he can because he uses Chaos Control during the final boss fight. And I don't think he needs to shapeshift necessarily because that form is supposed to be is everything activated and settled into that final form. Because we never really see him use the abilities in his base model. But we're talking about somebody who was able to take on multiple strikes from superpowered individuals and is swooping around them at supersonic type speeds. Uses chaos control, has like various forms of stasis crystalline projectiles, whatever those are, is throwing entire battleships at you as if they are nothing. He's got the speed, he's got the agility, and the raw power, plus the chaos control hacks. No, Metal Overlord's ludicrously powerful.
Overly powerful. He's very OP. Here's a question from Emerald Forgotten. You're about to be stuck on a desert island, and you can only bring one movie and one song with you for entertainment. Which ones do you choose?
I'm gonna go with Avengers Endgame, because that last battle sequence I could watch on loop for entirely too long. The one song, toss up between the opening theme for Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood or Demon Slayer, because those are just fire, dude. Like, you need to cook up that seagull for breakfast, boom, just play that song. Instant fire.
Yeah. Let's see. For me, I would bring Jake Kaufman, who is the composer of Shantae and various other Way Forward games, along with other games. Way back in like 2005, he did a medley remix of the soundtrack for Super Metroid. It's about 22 minutes long.
Oh, wow. So
I would do that. I would take that because it's 20 minutes. I can get plenty of entertainment out of 20 minutes musically. And let's see. And movie, Back to the Future. Which one? I don't know. I won't tell you. I'll sneak the trilogy box set on with me.
I mean, it's one story. So
it really is. It really
one
truly
movie.
is. They all go together. I mean, 2 and 3 were filmed at the same time, so that's it. It's just one long movie. So that's it for me. And this next question is from Godzilla. Regarding the Sonic 2 movie, Hawaii is most often the generic filming location for tropical islands, but which island do you think would fit better? South Island, West Side Island, or dare we say Angel Island? Also, who do you think would be the best random cameo in the movie? I think a good amount of fans would say a certain chipmunk, but I think I would do a backflip if the hooligans popped up as mooks for Jim Botnick. I could see Ryan Reynolds totally pulling off an out-of-left-field cameo as Bean. Also, I'm torn between Timothy Olyphant or Boyd Holbrook as Knack/Fang. And for the lulz, Kevin Smith as Silent Bark.
Again, I'm going to step away because I don't know anything along those lines, but I also don't want to guess or speculate and actually be right, and then it be, touted as a spoiler. So I'm walking away from this question.
I will speculate. I do not speak for Ian. I do not speak for the BumbleKast. Well, I mean, I kind of do, but this is me. This is me. And I know this is old. This is an old question. I know. I dug this one up. I dug up some older questions. So here we go. First of all, spoilers maybe for Sonic 2. I mean, most of you guys already know, and things already been revealed, but whatever. It's fine. I would say that Hawaii is probably the stand-in for Angel Island, considering Knuckles is in the movie. A random cameo, I don't know, Sally would be pretty neat. I think I would rather see Amy, though, so we could finally get that, the big four, the main four, together. And, yeah, I think that's it. Deadpool is a cameo, yeah. You want Ryan Reynolds in there? Yeah, just put Deadpool in there. Why not? Wouldn't happen. Would not happen. But it would be very funny. Anyway, here's our next question from Luigi. I understand that in Japan, Shadow follows a line of speaking in which he refers to himself with the word boku, which, while that element of that language doesn't translate to anything in English, it denotes that he is speaking in essence as a child does when making statements mentioning himself. In Sonic Adventure 2, this is supposed to be important characterization, and that you understand that he is in fact not matured in his unique, limited life. Were details like this ever in mind when writing the comics?
No, because I didn't know about that at the time. And honestly, doesn't seem to reflect in how they're characterizing Shadow now.
I don't know if it really reflected in how they characterized him then, at least in the English versions. It didn't really come across. Maybe. I mean, he is the ultimate life form. You think that it seems like he would not necessarily refer to himself as being limited in some fashion. But what do I know? Here's a question from Celeste Orion. Sonic and Shadow are supposedly on the same terms in scope of power and ability, correct? Omega was designed to be able to beat Shadow, yes? Thus, would logic conclude that Omega can dunk Sonic?
I don't know if Omega was designed to defeat Shadow. If we're going by 06, he was the one to defeat Shadow in the one timeline. So, in theory, sure. I mean, I would imagine he was designed to dunk on Sonic first. You know, Eggman Robot and all that. But, I mean, yeah, if he can take down Shadow, I would presume he could take down Sonic. It's just his priority lies elsewhere.
He can do it. Here's a question from Mike B. I want to clear up a thought that popped into my head. If the Archie Sonic books weren't canceled, would they have to comply with the two-world canon?
See, when we did the reboot, Two Worlds was there.
Mm-hmm.
We just kind of ignored it.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't ever really address it. It's just like, here's some human stuff. Here's some animal stuff. And we're not just going to specify anything beyond that.
IDW is just ignoring the human world completely. Smart. Humans suck.
Once again, I wouldn't be too concerned about Two Worlds going forward.
Nope. Don't worry about it. It's dumb. Humans are dumb. They stink. Have you smelled humans lately? They're gross. Here's a question from Tic Tic. In the comic, the Deadly Six went for the same kind of robots they used in Lost World. Is this an intentional choice, or is it a Sega mandate that they can only ride robots that they rode in the games?
The only one I can remember riding on anything was Zaz on the Moon Mech, and that's kind of his thing. You know, that's his gimmick. Everybody else, I mean, Zamam had the faces, kinda. Zavok had dragons, but otherwise, I guess Zor had the owls. But otherwise, it wasn't really mecha-related. I mean, Xena didn't really seem to ride on much that I can recall, and Zeke had all the fruit. That makes no sense whatsoever. But no, I put Zaz on the Moon Mech because they're kind of a thing. That's just what they do. It's what he's known for.
Yeah. And finally, our last question is from none other than Dove. Gentlemen, what color and style of lightsaber would you have? No restrictions. Ian, if you were to give the cast Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Eggman, Metal, Starline, and any others you would like to think of lightsabers, what colors or styles would they be? Are you there?
I'm here.
Okay. Are you thinking?
I'm thinking.
Okay.
This is a very serious question, Kyle.
Okay, well, my lightsaber would be purple. I mean, Samuel L. Jackson had the right idea. Sam Jackson knows what's up.
Yeah, I figured that one for you. I'm kind of on the fence between, because they said no restrictions, so something like a green saber with an orange core to go full on Bumble saber.
Oh, that would be pretty cool. Yeah.
Or say, screw you, it's basically the same thing and go dark saber.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the coolest looking one there is. I'm sorry, that's just fact. That's science. For the cast, Sonic would have a red one because he likes the color red. He has red shoes. His plane was red. That's just what he defaults to. And you'd point out that's the evil color. And he'd kind of shrug and say, not to me. And you'd explain, no, it's the Sith thing. And he just would not care because he likes the red sword. Back off.
Which is funny. You think they'd be color-coded to, their normal color-coded things. So it would be blue for Sonic. But actually, you know what? It makes more sense. Red makes more sense. I get it.
To me, that would be boring visually.
It would be, yes. Yeah, you gotta have some contrast.
Tails would go purple because he's building these things for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to make his, the coolest. It's going to stand out.
Of course.
Or it would just be Sonic Blue because he's kind of fixated on his idol, I guess. Maybe. Knuckles would be Emerald Green. That's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Shadow would have the dark saber because he's not going to have any color-coded one. It's going to be dark.
He's not going to have any light sabers. Light. Light. Light is for idiots. Who needs to see?
Amy's, I don't know what the color necessarily would be, but the hilt would definitely be styled after the hammer.
Yellow?
Maybe, I guess.
There's a lot of yellow in her hammer, from what I remember. It's like red and yellow, isn't it?
Yeah, it's got a little bit of green in there in some of the designs. But then you'd have like a yellow beam coming out of a yellow hilt, and that's kind of monochromatic. I don't know. Maybe it'd be pink. We don't really see pink lightsabers.
Yeah, that matches her, though, so...
I suppose. But she has enough... She wears so much red, it might be distinct enough.
True.
Rouge would just steal everybody else's.
It's true.
She's not the type to, confront you on a one-on-one sword duel. Are you stupid? She'd just steal them all. Biggs is just his fishing rod. Like he twists a crank at the bottom and it, lights up.
But it's just the fishing rod. I love it.
A fishing rod. That thing turns into an umbrella. It turns into a lightsaber.
Yeah. I love it. That's fantastic. Let's see what else. Eggman's lightsaber probably be.
Oh, he's got one of every color, and it all comes out of a Grievous arm armed on the Eggmobile.
That's true. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He doesn't
That's
wield.
How he fights the entire cast at once.
He doesn't wield one directly. He just. Yeah. He just has multiple arms doing it. I got it.
Oh, backtracking. Shadow doesn't have a darksaber. He has a double-sided darksaber.
Of course.
Because that's just way cooler.
It's gotta be. And let's see, Metal Sonic. I don't know. Seems like he would be. Maybe we'd have double. Maybe he'd have two.
Maybe he'd just have red again, cribbing Sonic.
Yeah, maybe.
And it's okay because he's the bad guy. He's allowed to do that. And so I say, I don't care. Can we just do this thing?
And Omega would take one look at a lightsaber and be like, "No, I have guns."
He's just shooting lightsabers out of the Gatling arm. That's not how you use it. I will use it as I see fit.
Yes. Yeah.
Obi-Wan never told you what happened to Maria. He told me enough. He told me you killed her. No, I am Maria. That's not true. That's impossible.
It is. It is impossible. Darth Froggy.
I mean, just redub Star Wars as Big the Cat and it makes it 10 times funnier. If only you knew the power of the dark side.
It's an old code, sir, but it checks out.
What, the entire Empire is Big the Cat now?
I mean, why not? All right.
Oh, I'm afraid you'll see that it's fully operational when your friends arrive.
Big the Empire, yes.
Unjaba no bada. Yup, yup. Eat up and yup, yup. Dup, 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 da, da. And where did you go, Froggy?
I can't. You've broken me. I'm broken. I'm broken.
He says he doesn't like you. I don't like you either.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Karaoke's too much, but quoting Star Wars as Big the Cat is perfectly acceptable.
It's very funny.
All right.
I think that's good enough. Oh, wait. What about Starline? Just real quick, because there were some people in the chat who wanted to know. He would have something very elegant. I know that.
It would be purple, but not like blazingly bright purple. We're not taking Sam Jackson purple.
Would it be like his like maroon-ish?
Yeah. And it'd have that like nice curved, elegant hilt like Dooku had.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the guy's got to fight with class.
Of course. And it's probably like maybe instead of a lightsaber, it's more like a, what's the really thin sword that I'm complete? Yeah, something like that. It'd have like have
some kind of like ray shield projector from
rapier.
His glove.
Rapier, yeah, there we go, yeah. Have like a light rapier instead of a saber. Sabers are for suckers. I don't know, that's kind of how I see it. Anyway.
And Rough and Tumble just run in with Vibraxes. Anyway. It's time to wrap up this show by giving a big thank you to everyone who makes it possible. Big thank you to our contributors, including Daniel H., Alex P., James K., John B., Jennifer R., Robotnik, Holmes, Samuel P., Sam Cybercat, Torchbound, Justin G., Mike B., Coupling Crew 128, Duiz Diz Din, Diane W., Andrew D., Scruffy Matt, Bradley TT, Chris A., Sonny, John M., Salutracat, Dawn B., Yami M., Noni Sin, Fritz Lee H.K., Lisa M., Dave M. Chevelle off. Silly String, Piggy Bank, J, Frost, Blue Title Gamer, Justin S, Jeb, Tick Tick, Final, Neil, Hero of Light 13, Digamma F, Wow, Jonathan D, Ryan D, Rachel W, Speedweed, Godzilla, Chaos Universe, Sonic Legacy, Daniel B, Dadler, the Dalek, PC, the Unicorn, Preston M, Pon Dolce Dove, Red the Supernamic, Jonathan W, Flixie, Owen BD, Fernando G, Chase L, Jonathan R, Chad, Sapphire, Scarlett Turbo, Les Renard Pixel, Creative Name, Crooker, Lewis J, John, The Real Waluigi, DaniTheLight, Happy Times, and Scurvy Pirate Hog.
I see you there, real Waluigi. If you were, in fact, the real Waluigi.
I mean, he says he is, so.
Well, if he is, give me a wah.
Kyle, where can the people find you when this mess is over?
Well, if they want to. If they want more mess, head on over to Twitter at KyleJCRB. You can also find me over at kngi.org. That is my website and the home of the KNGI network. That's where you can listen to my other show, Nitro Game Injection, streaming live on Fridays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. That's all about video game music, particularly fan-made video game music remixes, arrangements, covers, and all of that fun stuff. You'll also find recordings of the BumbleKast over there as well. That's where all the MP3 downloadable versions of the BumbleKast hang out. So check that out, too. Where can people find you, Ian?
Follow me on Twitter at IanFlynnBKC and my personal website, BumbleKing.com. That is my full portfolio, news about upcoming projects, and all sorts of good stuff, including links to the Q&A master list for the BumbleKast.
Nice. Check out the show on Twitter at BumbleKast. Email us at BumbleKast@yahoo.com. Listen on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Audible, our YouTube channel, and of course, KNGI.org.
Also support the show by going over to the Bumble store. That's shop.spreadshirt.com/Bumble store with a number of things, clothing, apparel, other paraphernalia that you can put your BumbleKast stuff on. We have Knowing Smiles. We have other caricatures. We have the logo itself. Get on over there. Get yourself something nice. And at the same time, help us out.
Oh, we have knowing smiles, all right. I mean, at least Ian does. That's kind of his thing.
It is starting to be co-opted by others, and I'm kind of proud of that.
Are you going to sue them for it? You should.
No.
Why not?
Let the virus spread.
Okay.
Full global knowing smileage.
You can get a lot of smileage out of that.
Mm-hmm.
This baby's got so many smileages. All right, let's get out of here.
It's going to wrap us up. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. We'll see you next week for more BumbleKast.
Complete global saturation cruise.
Jump to a big fight scene where I'm doing that anime swish dodging, except I have no control and I'm bouncing off the walls and stumbling over the furniture.
Something like that.
It's still effective. Nothing hits me except for, whatever I run into, but still.
Yeah. You've been listening to the BumbleKast, a co-production of Bumble King Comics and the KNGI Network. Original theme music composed by Ken Coda Snyder. Remixed intro by T-Lopes. Find out more information, along with podcast feeder links, MP3 downloads, and more at bumbleking.com and kngi.org.
Because we brought the Switch up just in case we had a rainy day for the kiddos.
Mm-hmm.
And their parents were actually excited about that because they were thinking about getting their kids a Switch and they wanted to see, how it was and how the kids did with the system and that sort of thing.
Right.
And the kids liked it well enough, but the mom rediscovered Mario Kart after years.
Uh-oh.
And on the last day, it was like, go away, mommy's busy.
Oh, no.
Day one, she's still remembering how to drive. And day two, she's like precision aiming green shells and getting ruthless on the track. It changed from maybe we'll get this for the kids for Christmas to, baby, my birthday's coming up. Can I get one?
I'm getting one.
And the husband's like, yeah.
I'm getting one for me right now.
It's like, good.
Yes.
Converted another.
Anyway.